Welcome everybody. I hope you've had a lovely break from our beautiful faces, or mid probably faces. This is the Footy on the Deal. I am Liam. This is Dylan.
I'm Dylan. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a long off-season break, and we did, I think, maybe cut people short off a series, and I've lost the footage. So, apologies in advance, guys.
Sorry.
And we're not re-recording it. It is what it is. Liam, how was your, off-season break?
It existed. It definitely existed.
Did you go anywhere?
No.
Did you do anything? Oh,
No, just
fucking sad.
Just reminisced on me watching football. That's about it. What about you? Did you go anywhere? Did you
I
see
did go
any
away.
Beautiful things?
I did go away. I wouldn't say beautiful. I don't know.
Have
I went away to good old Nelson's Bay.
Oh, okay.
Had a good time. Got on drinks with the boys.
Yeah, cool.
Got to go quad biking on the beach, see bushfire.
Nice.
Smoke while I was doing it. It was pretty fucking sick. It's a good
Did
photo.
you-
It's on my Instagram.
Did you
I
flip your quad bike?
Did I flip it?
Yeah.
Of course fucking not. That shit's heavy.
Yeah.
That shit is heavy as fuck. Anyway, with it being the new year, and while we're trying to get everything ready, we have gone and decided as a collective to take a focus for a brief period on NRL fantasy and not general football. It may phase in and out,
Yeah.
but we're going to try and just focus on fantasy right now. And with that being said, Liam, we are bringing you with our preliminary, because there will be changes with trials and injuries and all that other shit, preliminary team reveal and big surprise at the end of the video. Liam, you start your team first because I am too scared. Especially considering you won last year. You might as well go first. Mr.
Yeah.
Expert.
Yeah, the expert will continue. At hooker, Reece Robson. In nine middles, Brandon Smith, Tapane, and Daniel Saifidi. On the edges, Hopgood and Garner. Halves, Tanner Boyd and Jackson Hastings. In my centres is Hammer, Tibioi Fido, and Isaac Thompson.
Liam, I don't mean... You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
But for the guys, we've gone through this niche. Can we go through a little deep dive on your decisions with your guys?
Okay, I'll start with...
Can we do this?
We can try.
You can do this, my guy. You can do this.
Your eyes are
You
so
can
green.
do
I
this.
mean, Reece Robson. Basically, I've gone with him because I want an attacking hooker. The new rule of on your goal line, you have to have both feet behind the line. I think him, Harry Grant, Brandon Smith are going to carve and score a bunch of tries.
Damn
And I
fucking
love
right.
that attacking upside of Reece Robson. And I think you do too.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Saifidi. He's going to get a bunch more minutes. I think he played a lot of injured last year. So, you just hope for the best. And if he plays good, he gets me some money. Joe Tapane.
Stud.
Start average 55 last year. I think he ended the season with a bit of a rib problem.
He was top prop last year.
He was top prop last year.
Top the props.
Yeah, and he carried an injury near the end there. So
Top the props, boys.
that I feel like that lowered his price a bit. So I wanted to get him back. One of my people I ended with, and I want to start with again. And cheese.
The cheese.
The cheese.
Oh.
Brent Smith. He's in 47.79% of teams as of recording. Everyone's got him. He's got the hooker mid position.
There's a lot of players that are going to feature in a lot of teams, especially in leagues across the NRL fantasy website and competition. There's certain people you just can't avoid,
No.
especially now that they've gone out. NRL fantasy's Facebook put down some must-haves, and Brandon Smith was one of the first options on there.
It helps with the price he's at, like a lot of the other ones, their price they're at and their current role in their team, or projected role. Brandon Smith, didn't play too many minutes, came off the bench off a Storm. He's going to play in probably one of the best attacking teams this season.
100%.
Jermaine Hopgood on my edge. Could play lock for hopefully at least 3 weeks. Hopefully get a bunch of minutes. He played good in New South Wales Cup, and hopefully I can transition. I got Luke Garner to hopefully it's either him or Hoskins to take over that edge spot. They're taking upside. Hopeful for that side. It's hopeful.
So,
These are two dudes also that's owned by a bunch of people.
of course, yeah.
Both over 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're that fun price range where they can just make a bit of money. Tanner Boyd in my halves. 479k. He's got the dual. He's playing 7 for the Titans and he plays 2 positions. I don't know if he can make some money. What do you think, Dylan? You should
I
come
don't
to.
know. I don't know. This is your whole team. It's
Okay.
very much a you segment here. I'm just, half mid-face sitting around, so go for it, mate.
Cool.
Enjoy this time in the spotlight.
Okay, great. I'm gonna enjoy every second I get. Jackson Hastings to finish my halves up. Going to Newcastle. Going to have the ball a lot, as we saw with the Tigers. I think he was leading when he was like the 7 before he got injured and whatnot. He was leading Cleary and Hines in touches, so could do a similar role in Newcastle.
For sure. Yeah.
My centres all went cheap. Isaac Thompson and Hammerside to Yafedo. The hope is cheap dudes in the centres. I don't think there's a lot of value there unless you want to spend big there. So just go for some dudes who hopefully have positions locked down. Wing fullbacks, Joseph Suali'i. Suali'i? You're the rooster. You're the cock.
Suali'i.
Suali'i. Starts off with the Warriors and what's the weak team they're with?
Redcliffe.
Redcliffe and Warriors, yeah. I could see that edge scoring a lot of points.
Damn right.
And also Xavier Savage, 452k, has locked down the fullback for the Raiders, hopefully.
Not even hopefully, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, true.
Barring injury.
Yeah, he can, score a bunch of points. Xavier Savage. Lockie Miller, the greatest player in the Newcastle Knights team due to being a Shark. He's at 426. I think he's priced at about 28, 27. Yeah, hopefully that attacking upside, he can help a lot with Newcastle. My bench has, of course, everyone has him on the bench. Nicholas Hines, you don't want him starting, you want him on the bench. Top point scorer last season, the top price as well. You want him on your bench, you don't want to captain him, that's for sure. Hayes Perham as well. One of the cheapest starting 17 players you can probably get. Playing fullback for the Doggies. I don't know what kind of player he is, I've never actually watched Hayes Perham. He's got a very good price.
Yeah.
Jaime Selly, with the news of Havili being injured for about 10 weeks, there's going to be some minutes for some middles in South Sydney.
Big minutes.
Yeah.
Big minutes.
We'll see how the trials go with Jaime Selly, if he gets some more minutes or not. And Teague Wilton to finish off my starting 17. He could start that edge position as Wade Graham's named the halves for trial game 1.
I think it's just because you don't have Nico around and your depth is kind of lackluster, my guy.
I think that Wade Graham's going to play a different role, but again, that's just opinion.
For sure.
There's no-
For sure.
yeah.
Who's your emergencies?
My
Because
emergency.
our emergencies are going to be very important this year with a bye almost every week.
Yeah, you're going to want to play, you don't want any red dots at all. Realistically, Davey Mawali, similar with the Jaime Selly, he's a cheap dude. He can
Yep.
probably get a bunch of minutes in the middle rotation.
Make a bit of cash.
Yeah, Mark Nichols won't be there, and Neva will Havili, as I said earlier. Tommy Talau is also there. Centre, hopefully plays with the Tigers. If he's named, he'll stay there. If he's not,
Centre wing fullback.
centre wing fullback, that's true. Dual position.
Dual position player.
Yeah, can
There
really.
is a spot. There's a spot in the centres.
Yeah,
And he's been named to. He's been rumoured to get
I think he's playing right now against the Warriors in the centres
off as of recording.
as of recording. Sonny Luke to as well. Hopefully he'll get over 20 minutes a game, and if so, he might have that attacking upside. I don't know. Ivan Cleary probably knows best. Sloan, Dragons fullback, probably played Dragons fullback for most of the season. I think he's probably going to make me the most money out of all these dudes. I think he's my Max King.
Oh, he's your Max King for the year.
He's my Max King for the year.
Interesting. All right. Now, Conser, would you please give me the screenshots of my team, considering we're recording on my phone? Still, yes, we're peasants.
We are peasants.
Okay. So, as you'll read through that team, Liam, I noticed we have a lot of the same players, you dirty dog. Now, I gave you my team beforehand, and that's my fault.
I copied it. No.
Yeah, didn't copy, but I think it's something that. Holy fuck, that train is loud.
Well, it knew that I stopped talking, so what was the point of not showing up, you know?
I mean, fair enough.
It's not like
fuck.
we're going to listen to him anyway.
Fuck, sounds like Freddy Krueger outside.
You wish.
Okay, I think that's done. We apologise again.
The wet dream on Elm Street has ended.
Yeah.
Now, break me down your scene.
So, just like you at hooker, I've gone with Reece Robson. Okay, same thinking, big attacking upside. He is one of the cheaper top tier options there, and we want a top tier gun. That's my whole strategy this year has been gun hooker, try and get a gun in as many positions as possible. I believe I've done that with my squad, mate, and I think it's pretty fucking juicy. Right, my middles, I'm very keen on this.
Okay.
From the Warriors, I have Murata Niokore. He's been tipped to land a centre spot, so he will get possible duel. Maybe he gets an edge spot. Possible, being injuries. But I'm hoping he gets a centre spot and I can bring him down a little bit later once a couple other people have made a bit of cash. Get a mid up there, that's the whole strategy, boys. Big strategy, boys. I also have big boy Pat Carrigan.
Big boy.
I'm tipping him for a big year. A big year. I'm tipping for a big Broncos bounce back. Okay? They dropped off last year, but when they were on fire, Paddy Carrigan was leading from the front. He was rivaling Payne Haas in impact on that team. That's right, I fucking said it. And I've also got big boy Ryan Sutton. Sutton from the Bulldogs. He's been tipped again to land the 13th spot over our player we had as predicted.
Player to watch, Jackson Topine. And he's actually named to start at 13 in their first preseason challenge game. So I've gone with him. It may change. Obviously, this is a preliminary first, squad. So if things changes, it will change. I will not obviously get Jackson Topine at that point. I'll get someone around the same price point because Jackson Topine is expensive as fuck. In the edges, I'm going to leave the big one for last. Okay. I've gone, like you, Jermaine Hopgood. It's a good pick.
Because he has the first 3 weeks. And I think in those 3 weeks, he's going to lock down that starting lock role. No puns intended. Okay? He's going to be like the fucking master lock. You're not getting out of that shit.
Yeah.
He is the starting 13. Ryan Madison will go to an edge. They are missing an edge. So he needs that. He needs to be there. So Jermaine Hopgood is going to be the 13. I'm calling it all year. All year he's the 13. Okay? So I've got him. He's going to make a shit ton of money and also be dual. He'll get the mid. He's going to have to.
He's going to. He's
going to have to. He's playing lock. He's going to get the mid spot. So I can even move him up if he gets that starting spot and grab another edge later because, fuck, that would be nice. And the big boy. Big expensive boy. Not the most expensive edge available, but the second. Coming back from the UK, big John Bateman.
I just realised the 2 most expensive edges are the Tigers edges, aren't they?
Exactly, it's fucking insane.
Look,
Johnny Bateman is tipped to get lock because that's what he's been playing in Super League. Hopefully, that would be awesome having Johnny Bateman, bloody Pat Carrigan, and any of my other middles there as well. Gun. But I'm going to leave him an edge because hopefully he also keeps the edge spot all season. So that would be money.
Get the duel as well.
Get the duel. Even then, as an edge, he was one of the top fantasy / Supercoach players when he was in the league with the Raiders because he was an absolute gun. So yes, there's supposed visa issues and there's rumours of him being unhealthy. If he is not available, I'll be downgrading to Hudson Young, which is also a fucking amazing choice, and I'll be able to upgrade someone on my bench, which is I'm fucking keen with. Or just have money in the bank to upgrade elsewhere.
Yeah.
Stoked. My halves. I've gone like you, Tanner Boyd. He's pure moneymaker. He's like my Lockie Ilias pick from last year. Cartwright, Titans coach.
Why would you say Cartwright?
He's the Titans coach, is he not?
No, Holbrook.
Holbrook, fuck, I don't know. They're the Titans, no one pays attention to them. Holbrook.
Yeah.
If he decides to keep Tanner Boyd in the halves because of David Fifita, this kid's going to make a shit ton of money. Especially if he shares that same edge, I'm hoping. I'm hoping they keep that edge there. It is talks of it being the case. So, big pairing that is huge, and the only reason I haven't done it is because I have a lot of Titans players already, would be Fifita Boyd. That's a big Dylan tip for the year. That is a money pairing, but I think a lot of people will have it, considering David Fifita's price point right now.
If they didn't have the bye, I think they have round 5, I'd have both of them.
100%.
It is an early bye round team.
A lot of them are early buy round teams.
Also, Toby Sexton, the eye guy, just close eyes. He has said that number 7 is his jersey, he wants to earn it.
I think Tanner Boyd outplays him every day of the week.
Yeah, same.
and his half partner. From the Doggies, Australian centre, Matty Burton from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Matty Burton. Do you think he can get like the top score this year?
I think he'd be very, very close.
He has
I
the
think that
attacking
squad is
upside.
so much better. He's got the attacking
The
upside.
goal kicking.
His goal kicking.
He's going to do a lot of kicks on Flanagan.
Exactly.
There's
He's got the big boot that everyone's fucking scared of.
Everyone fucking creams themselves when they see it.
I think he's going to be a huge player here, and priced at was it 718k. I think he's going to make a lot of money. I think we look at where Hines is priced at almost $1 million.
Yeah.
Most expensive player, as he should be, was one of the best players in fantasy last year, if not the best, behind Cleary. Ahead of Cleary.
He was the top scorer, yeah.
Yeah, it was him or Cleary was 1 and 2. They're two expensive players. You had to go. I think Burton's going to rival that, and he can very quickly get close to that $1 million price point
For sure.
at the end of the season. My centres, I've also decided to go kind of cheap. I've gone Isaac Thompson because in the games he did play, he was a try-scoring machine last year, and I believe there's a spot open for him. I think he's going to beat out Tane Milne in the preseason to
Also,
get that wing spot.
What interested me in him is Latrell doesn't run a lot of meters, so his wings are going to, and he's
Exactly.
like that Greg Marjorie type where he would just run a bunch of meters.
I mean, if Isaac Thompson isn't playing, I can always downgrade back to, I guess, probably Brent Needham.
Tommy Talau, whoever's
Talau.
playing out too.
For Alan Waddy, somehow that's a spot, I'll bring in Alan Waddy.
Plus, here's the thing, he's high percentage, so it's not just you're getting fucked, a lot of
It's
people.
everyone getting fucked. Everyone has that problem.
I'd rather
I'll
be in
do a
that
big
boat.
flip around. It's okay. Pairing alongside him, though, is a guy who was super consistent at the Doggies last year, Aaron Shop. Aaron Shop. Look, I was going to go to Moko,
Yeah.
okay, but I think Aaron Shop just seems a little bit more dangerous when he runs the ball. Very rock solid in defence. I think he's going to be a stud in the centre spot this year. He's priced at, I believe it's 435k. It's a pretty good point to have him there. I think he'll be a guy that I hopefully keep all year.
Especially if you look at the fact that he's cheaper than Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
He's going to be right next to David Fafita as well, just on the other side.
Yep.
Going to have the same amount of attacking stats as Tyler
That's
Boyd.
the edge that we've taken. That's the edge I've taken. That's the duo I've taken instead of Fafita. It is cheaper.
Yeah.
That was my main reason. In my wing fullbacks, I've gone with the guy I started with last year and the man who will very likely be my captain, James, at least for the first 2 weeks, James fucking Tedesco, going up against the Redcliffe Dolphins and then the Warriors. Excuse me?
You don't,
James Tedesco is going to be the top scorer in the first 2 weeks.
yeah, he's going to probably average 100.
He's going to be a stud. So I've, of course, taken him and I'll keep him all year again, barring injury. To go alongside him, I've gone with Big Xavier Savage because he was pretty impressive last year.
And did you see the images? He looked pretty big.
And he looks pretty fucking big.
Yeah,
Looks pretty fucking huge, boys.
yeah.
Been getting jacked in the off-season, boys. Ripping curls for days. Big, swole man.
Yeah.
Big swole man. Eating a lot of food. Big Xavier Savage.
Very big Xavier.
I think he's going to be an absolute star in what will be a top 8 side.
Yeah.
He's a big point of attack. In the finals, he was amazing.
Before the Eagles game, yeah.
Before the Eagles game.
Yeah.
And as my last starter, I've gone with the man who left the New Zealand Warriors for the Brizzy Broncos, Reece Walsh.
Pretty boy Wash.
Pretty boy Walsh, priced at 529k. It's not one of those easier money makers like a Chance Nickel Clockstad if he starts at wing fullback. It's not a Lockie Miller, it's not a Hayes Perham, but I think he is going to be one of the better performing wing fullbacks this year. At least improvement wise. And he'll be the most improved out of all wing fullbacks.
Yeah, I think.
Except maybe Chance. Chance rivals him in that. Better squad, than what he was, and he was doing pretty well, points wise at the Warriors. Now put him in a good squad. Fuck.
Instead of everything running through him, you can just have him roam, kind of.
Exactly.
Playing off people like Reynolds, passing to people like Katoni and Cobbo.
Exactly. Now for my bench, boys. I've gone with Mr. Reliable over at the Storm, Tommy Eisenhuth. Everyone's tipping Elisa Katoa. Everyone's tipping a Tarek Sims. or a Joe Chan is another guy who I might take, actually, Joe Chan, pending trials.
You ever named Trent Loera?
Trent Liero is another one. I've gone with Tom Eisenhuth because he knows the system. He's very consistent. You know what you're getting out of him. So if he starts, I'm going. If he doesn't, I'm moving on. There's no big deal. Wing fullback, I've gone with the man I mentioned earlier, Hayes Perham, cheapest starting fullback you will get, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's bloody got him. Can you blame us? Can you blame anyone?
Yeah.
He's going to be the biggest money maker this year, realistically.
Yeah.
Quickly, at least.
If he can keep that spot, yeah.
Quickly, if he keeps that spot, gets the fullback spot, proves it in trials, boys, this is a guy who will get you 500k pretty quickly. I think he'll get there very, very quickly. He'll average about a 30-40. At least 30. He'll at least average 30 at fullback, from what I've seen, and it wasn't much.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on it either.
I went with the cheese at my third spot because obviously Roosters hooker. Well, we're not soft draw. He's going to run amok, you know, and he's also kind of cheap. It was him or Aaron Clark. I really wanted Aaron Clark, but I couldn't fit it in. I couldn't fit it in, mate.
You couldn't fit them both in.
Couldn't fit him in. So I went with another smoky. This player in my emergencies could rotate in and out for this final spot right now. I've got Olufiana Khan Pereira.
Good pronunciation.
I know. This man is tipped to get the starting winger spot at the Titans. He's an absolute speedster, sort of looking at his, I believe it was Burleigh Bears Q Cup highlights, similar to what a Josh Addo-Carr was doing early on at the Storm. Just blowing by blokes. Absolute speed demon. This could be the guy, and Foreign knows how to use that. Just a little chip over the top ski. Tanner Boyd might know how to use that. Little chip over the top ski. Chip over the top ski, boys. In my emergencies, I've gone with Sonny Luke because I'm tipping him to get way more than 20 minutes. I'm thinking 40 minutes at least, maybe even 50 minutes. And Mitch Kenny play 30. Let's start. Get Mitch Kenny through the hard shit, and when Sonny Luke comes in, everyone's fucking tired as shit. Ripping through everyone. Big attacking stats. Big potential there to make money. I've also gone with Trey Mooney.
Trey Mooney?
Yeah, we tipped him at the end of last year to get the starting lock spot. That was free. Over Harry Wiranara. Over Horsburgh. Hopefully that happens. If not, he's getting a bench spot, and he's priced at pretty bottom dollar, so he's going to make a little bit of cash anyway. I prefer him starting, but it is what it is.
As long as he gets the minutes, he should be
alright. As long as he gets something. I've gone with Big Ray Stone. Man seems like a Wayne Bennett type of player. I think he's going to start at 13.
I think he's going to start.
I think his heart will get him there. I think the way his pre-season training would have gotten there. Man scored a try. I believe he blew his knee out in the process. Yeah. And still scored.
Yeah.
So, fuck, if you bench that guy, are you even a coach anymore? Should you even coach, Liam? Should Wayne Bennett even coach if he benches Ray
Well, he's pretty old either way. Like, there's a question of if he should be coaching even.
I don't think he should anymore. And to end it, I've gone with potential man who's only maybe a good preseason, maybe an injury away, Paul Alamotti. Tipped to be the next guy up if Hayes Perham starts at fullback and Averillo moves to centre. He's the next man up. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that a good preseason lands in that spot permanently over Braden Burns.
Okay.
And big surprise, boys. We are not done.
No.
There is a joint footy on the DL accounts. Boom! Wow, are you as excited as I am, Liam?
Yes, now I am.
Now you are. Good, get on my fucking level. Flip over to it, please. I have another way. I don't want to see a dick pic on your phone.
Oh, no, my dick's way too small to fit on camera.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, baby.
You got it. So, boys, to run this down, we have split the positions evenly. So, for example, with hooker, there is one starter. We took a bench hooker. One of us picked the starter, the other picked the bench. When there was positions with 3, we evenly decided it. We had pick 1, pick 2, mutually agree on the 3rd. That is how we've done it. We will, if there is people suggesting things to us, we will listen. We will voice them on the podcast. We will talk about it. This is very much not just us. It is also you guys as this account. This is you guys in this competition. So hopefully you can beat the both of us and everyone else in our comp.
Yeah. Good luck.
And we do it as a show. Alright? Liam, I believe you picked our starting hooker. Go for it.
Aaron Clark.
Why'd you pick Aaron Clark, Liam?
He's going to be playing lock for the Titans.
Big money.
Big money.
We tipped it in in our preview, the one series that we released. He was our one to watch, I believe. Because he was going to be at lock, and we tipped him to be very, 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 very good.
For the short little time he had at lock, those 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
It's very explosive.
We'll leave our bench hooker for when we get to the bench.
Yeah.
But for now, I will start on our mids because I picked our vice capitan. Obviously, Ruben Cotter.
He's a great pick.
Great pick. He's a huge base stats guy. He's a good attacking stats guy when he gets them. And he's going to be even better than last year. I think he's going to improve again, even further.
Well, how long did you think it took for top end to realise he's going to play him in the middle? Probably in the preseason somewhere. Now everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
He's a great middle.
Everyone knows he's a great middle. He is going to be targeted more, but I think he thrives through that. I think he's got a bit of mongrel in him.
Yeah.
Liam, I think he loves that bit of contact, all that stuff, that little argy-bargy in the middle. I think he loves being a prop.
Yeah.
He loves a prop. So I think Ruben Cotter is going to be an absolute star this season.
He's a hard worker. He's here for a bunch of minutes as well.
Exactly. He's going to be a big minute middle.
Yeah.
Like, it's rare to find, and I think we've got one. And that's who we picked. Liam, who was your pick at middle forward?
Lindsay Collins.
There you go.
I forgot who picked him, but Lindsay Collins.
It was definitely you.
It was definitely me.
It was definitely you.
Definitely me.
Why'd you pick Lindsay Collins?
He was cheap. I think he's in here a bunch of minutes, depending on Matt Lodge. I still don't know what's happening to Matt Lodge, so...
I don't know either. He's not listed on the NRL.com site. People saying he's still in a train trial deal, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Some people saying he's in the top 30. Even then, does Matt Lodge start? I think they like him as that impact off the bench guy. I think the only reason he started any games was because Lindsay Collins was coming back from injuries.
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins, full preseason under his belt. I believe he played in the World Cup.
No, I think he had head knocks, didn't he?
You're not wrong, yes. Sorry, my bad. He had a bunch of head knocks in the season. He's got a full preseason of health, hopefully a full season behind him. I reckon he's going to be a start. Origin caliber forward.
Yeah.
You know, could be an Australian. I believe he has played for Australia before. I think he'll get back to that form. You know, it's a good pick. It was a great pick. And when you told me when we made the squad, I was absolutely stunned by it because I didn't think you'd ever pick a Roosters player in your life.
I never will do it ever again until we get to the fullbacks.
Mutually. A mutual pick.
Our mutual pick. Would you like to say a mutual pick as the mutual?
I think you've. I can't see what it says on the phone.
Okay,
I believe it is Ryan Sutton. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
I think you could, so thank you.
Gold star at the end.
Ryan Sutton. Ryan Sutton.
He's in your team.
He's in my
He's
team.
in his team.
We have already spoken about him a little bit. We believe he is going to get that spot, so that's why. And if he gets that 13 spot, it's very lucrative. He's very good at that role. From when he played at the Raiders, he didn't get to see much of him because Ricky Stewarted himself. But yeah, really keen to see how he goes. And at the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
We should go to our edges, my guy.
Go to our edges. With my pick, I picked Kelma Tulangi.
Kelma Tulangi. Why Kelma Tulangi?
We needed a decent price range. He's going to be right next to Schuster. Maybe a lot of it are tackles, you know, a lot of helping out with Schuster. I don't know what Schuster's going to be like in defense.
He does seem to be a very good base stats guy. He's going to be a guy that seems reasonably consistent enough to get, I'd say, at least a 30. Maybe a high 20s, low 30s guy.
Depending on his minutes as well. He got a lot of head knocks with the Tigers last season.
He did.
He's in and out of that team like crazy. But I think he's a pretty decent player.
I think our next pick at the edge, my pick, is going to be one of the biggest movers in the edge category, and I think that's Corey Harawira-Naera from the Raiders. They have named in their first preseason trial Corey Horsburgh at lock. I believe that's because Harawira-Naera is in the Maori All-Stars game, and that's why. So he's obviously not going to back up twice in the same week. I believe Harawira-Naera is going to get that spot over Big Red.
I hope you're right for this.
I'm hoping for this sake. Obviously, still prelim. We will make changes and we'll come together to make those decisions. But we've gone with him. I think he's going to be an absolute stud. If he is getting the full lock role, he's got great attacking potential. Even if he's on an edge, still amazing attacking potential, good base stats. He's going to be an absolute star in that Raiders squad, in that pack. Liam.
Lockie Ilias. We're going straight to half, baby.
That wasn't your
catch
I
up.
don't think that was your pick.
You picked the other half.
Did I?
Yeah, you could kind of convince me. You helped me pick Lockie Ilias. You kind of picked Lockie Ilias either way. But Lockie Ilias.
Okay, yeah.
The 7 for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He's now no longer a rookie, so maybe a bit more confidence in certain places. He played pretty good for Greece. Remember him making like a runaway tackle. Surprised me with his speed. Yeah.
So his second season, he will improve again. Another full season with his squad. Remember, he didn't have Latrell Mitchell for a while as well.
Yeah, for most of the season.
For most of the season, so that has impacted his stats from last year. I think it's just going to improve again when he has Latrell Mitchell back. And if Latrell stays healthy, he's going to be an absolute superstar. Our other one, second most expensive player in fantasy.
The second best player in the league. You're right.
I don't know about the league.
Continue.
The biggest name in the NRL at the moment, Nathan Cleary. You get the best player from the best squad in the league, and we plugged him in there. There was no other way. Like, if we didn't go gun hooker, we had to go top of the line half, and we did, and we made it work. And I think the squad looks really good, even with spending a lot of that money at Nathan Cleary. And it's different to what we've kind of done with ours. I know you got Nico Hines on our bench, but I've not really gone top tier gun half. I've gone better hooker, better everywhere else. Sort of top line mid halves.
Be interesting to see how he plays as well.
100%.
Could be a lot like Nicholas Hines, where it's like everyone just follow him now. Now there's no Appy, in the hooker. Him and Isaiah could have a great year fantasy wise.
100%. Going to centres. I believe I made this next pick, so I'll call it. I went with Isaac Tongo.
The left side of
the left side.
Panthers.
Viliame Kikau leaves. I believe he gets off of running a lot of those decoys. I believe Luke Garner or Zach Hosking, whoever gets it will likely be Garner, if my theory is correct, will be a lot of those will fill that role of Tongo and get the decoys, and Tongo will be training at the back and getting a lot of those try assists, line breaks, all as such. I think his attacking stats will be even higher now. He'll have a little bit more responsibility in that line, on that edge. So I think he'll be an absolute top tier centre in fantasy this year.
Yeah, can't argue with any of that. It's Isaac Tonga and the Panthers. I went Isaac Thompson.
Same reason. Top tier try scorer.
Yeah, top tier try scorer. Latrell helping, doing a bunch of try assists. He's going to finish a lot of plays like a wingers do.
Yep.
Who are wing fullbacks?
I believe I made a pick of Joseph Suaalii.
I think you did, yeah.
That may have going up. Actually, no, it would have been on Mitchell. Because it would have been selected in the same way as our mids. Yeah. I went with Chance Nickel Clockstad as my wing fullback pick.
It's an interesting pick.
I think coming back to New Zealand, he's going to be very happy. Always he'll go back to that form. If he maintains that fullback role instead of centre like he's been tipped, if he lands that fullback role, he's going to go back to Raiders form and he's going to be an absolute stud. Tons of meters, tons of tackle breaks, tons of tackles. Absolute superstar when he plays at fullback and he's healthy. So big money maker, hopefully.
Yeah. So I think he can stay healthy. That's the only real
That's the main thing, yeah.
But
same with your pick. just quietly.
Same with my pick, as I pick, Kalen Ponga.
Callum Ponga, when you said this to me when we were calling and making this team, I was a bit skeptical because when he comes up, he's still listed as injured.
He is.
I know on fantasy. Man who likes to get injured very frequently, and with him playing 5/8, I believe, they're putting a lot of a man who was very concussion prone in the line of fire, and I don't know how I feel about that. But this was your pick, and this is a joint account, so up to you, man. Why'd you make that decision?
He was the best player in State of Origin last year, outside of Ruben Cotter.
Yeah, fair call.
And if he's healthy, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great for that team. Him and Jackson Hastings.
He will likely be the main focal point in attack.
Yeah.
The benefit of a lot of Jackson Hastings' organisation and him being the finishing point, the tip of the spear, if you will. So yeah, it isn't a bad pick at all. You just have to worry about the injuries with a player like Kalen Ponga in your squad.
Sure.
Our mutual pick, Joseph Suaalii. Going to be an absolute beast. Could get that centre spot. He's been tipped to get it, so you move him into centres. Isaac Tango, Joseph Suaalii centre pairing for fantasy, not a bad decision at all.
Especially when you see that side is on.
Exactly.
Luke Keary, Cryan, and Tupou.
Big point scoring edge over there. Suaalii, in that instance, he was one of the best wingers last year. Definitely formed one of the best wing pairings. One of the best back lines in the NRL. So he's going to benefit from that, and another full year in first grade, and coming off of a World Cup challenge, also a World Cup squad
Where he dominated as well.
where he dominated, became a star at fullback. He'll take what he's learnt and bring it into the squad. Starting with the bench, I picked the first bench guy because Liam had first pick in our squad. Our starting lineup. So our bench, I went with Josh Hodgson.
Josh Hodgson, another could be an injury risk.
Bit of an injury risk. He's a bit old, but I think he will help bring so much stability to that Eels squad. A lot of leadership there. Definitely loves a cheeky try from dummy half as well. With 2 feet from behind. I think he'll score quite a few tries. Loves a run. I think he'll make quite a bit of points. He made a lot of points for the Raiders in fantasy when he wasn't injured. So very keen to see him at the Eels.
Yeah. Next pick, Teague Wilton.
Teague Wilton.
I'm going to assume that I picked this. I think he's playing on the edge.
You picked both Sharks players on our bench.
I mean, to be fair, you can't have enough Sharks players. Let's be real. I've been reading that he has been training on the edge, where Graham's been training playmaking in the middle a bit. So hopefully those aren't lies, and Wilton plays on the edge because he's a better player on the edge.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely keen if he gets the edge spot. I think it's just going to be a nice, seamless transition there. Moving Wade Graham back, they need some more veteran presence coming off the bench in those periods of the game where your starters come off. So I think Wade Graham's going to be better off on the bench for this squad. But Craig Fitzgibbon, amazing coach. He's obviously got better strats than the both of us combined.
For sure.
My other last bench pick was Josh Schuster. A bit risky considering he's not played in the halves, to my knowledge, at the top flight of NRL first grade.
Since his debut,
at least. But he could do very well. Massive body at 5'8". It would be very interesting to see how he goes. I reckon he can make a lot of money. His price has dropped from what it could have been. I expected him to be a lot lower coming into this season, but I guess they've sort of picked it off of the fact he's going to start, the fact he's going to make, so he's not going to make so much money, but I reckon he'll be hovering around the same price point and making a good amount of points for us.
He's priced a weird amount.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Considering what he averaged last year of 18.
Yeah.
Very weird. I expect him to be at not where he is now, but about 300k.
Yeah.
But he's at what, 400?
Might have been priced 2021, that's my guess.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he looked pretty good on that. To finish off the bench, Braden Hamlin-Uele. Yeah, it's a.
Why did we pick Braden Hamlin ULA, my guy?
He's a shark. That's the only reason, really. No, seriously, he's probably going to get at least 40 minutes, I would assume.
Yep.
In the Sharks' middle, him and Royce Hunt, I think, are battling really for minutes. But either way, there's a lot of minutes to go with that Sharks team. McInnes, Finucane, and them two.
Yeah.
I don't know what minutes go where.
Big attacking potential as well. Always good for an offload. Always good for a line breaker too. Line break assist with those offloads. So Hamlin ULA just has massive potential to be a top tier fantasy point scorer, and that's probably the main reason why we did pick him at the end of the day. We'll move on to our emergencies. I'm pretty happy with them. I'll go first. I went with Olafiana Camperera. Same reasons why I picked him on my bench. I reckon he's priced at 230k. He's gonna start allegedly. So he'll make a ton of money at a bottom dollar price.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I picked him in this squad, because emergency. And mainly there for us to make a bit more cash.
Exactly.
And upgrade other positions and bring in another bottom dollar guy who could make more money.
Next pick was Sonny Luke, I mentioned earlier. Hopefully he gets plenty more minutes than what I originally said. He was the attacking hooker out of the two, so hopefully he gets a bunch more minutes.
I've also gone with Paul Alamotti again. Time making the squad, I believed he was getting the centre spot alongside Braden Burns. I don't believe that's the case from what we're all hearing now with Hayes Perham. But again, an injury away. Ideally, we have all of our players playing, because with the buys, we're going to need it, and we need as much money as possible. So, end of the day, we may change him, but, you know, good preseason, and he could start, realistically.
Yeah. Hopefully, one would hope. Especially on that left edge.
That'd be bloody
What
nice.
money to make. To finish off, Carl Lawton. I've been high on him for a few years at this point. He played anyway, hooker, front row, and edge. I'm hoping that he replaces that Dylan Walker role that is missing now, and he can really speed up the middle of the ruck, I guess.
If he gets that Dylan Walker role and he flourishes in it, Dylan Walker's priced at about 500k right now, and Kyle Lawton's priced at 250, so he easily doubles his price. It will take time for that to happen.
Could be a slow burn.
But a slow burn moneymaker isn't exactly a bad thing. You jump off reasonably early, not sit the whole season and wait for it. But again, in our emergencies, not the biggest problem.
No.
If they're making money and slowly churning, that's okay. That's our squad. That's our footy on the DL account squad. And I guess our big news is we've created a footy on the DL league. That's right. You all can join us. There's already a couple of you there that we personally know that we have added in. We will have the league link code in the description of the YouTube video, and maybe even the Spotify link as well. But our league link code will be in the description of the YouTube video. 100% join us, see if your squad can beat myself, very likely, or even last season's winner, Liam, or runner-up.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab that right there.
Okay, hold on. One
Did
second.
you-
One second, ladies and gents.
Oh shit, he's caked up tonight.
And if you do, you yourself can win Bullshitter of the Year.
And you can,
That's right. We will invite you
Yeah.
here, or just mail this to you, because honestly that's quite safe, and we don't want you knowing where we live. Mail this to you. Or another one of these, because I know exactly.
No, it's the exact one. It's the exact duplicate.
The exact
Not
the
duplicate.
exact Bullshitter of the Year
Carbon
award
copy, original
that
OG.
has currently been sitting on Liam's fucking drawer for months and has collected so much dust.
It's got my hair follicles on it too, so you can really taste it.
So yeah, guys, be a part of this. This is very interactive. This is what we want from you. We're going to try and bring you as much fantasy content as possible. Next week we will be recording a deep dive into the team's top 30s and what we predict their 17 to be, and a couple black book prospects for our own fantasy squads. But in the meantime, we will catch you on the next episode. See y'all's laters.
Bye.